Today we're diving into Active. It's an easy hack-the-box machine that offers plenty of learning opportunities for beginner penetration testers, especially those that have never worked on a Windows box before. Focus on common Active Directory vulnerabilities, and this machine is a great way to hone your skills in SMB enumeration. It also provides you the chance to explore Kerberoasting, a technique you might not get practice unless you're working in a Windows environment. My name is Chris Louis. I'm a cyber enthusiast who loves CDF challenges, researching vulnerabilities, and all things hacking. So without further ado, let's dive into this machine and check it out. All right, let's go ahead and throw that IP address into our Etsy host. In this case, I've already done it. As you can see here, here's the IP address followed by the name. And we're doing that because we want to remember the name. It's a lot easier to remember the name than the IP address. So I'm going to save that and exit and clear it and actually cd into the hackthebox Active Directory that I made. And we want to just make sure that our OpenVPN has been set up and we're actually able to reach the machine. So we're going to ping it and we're getting back information. So that is a positive. And I'm going to go ahead and Control-C to stop that because that's going to run indefinitely. And from there, now we know we can start beginning our recon. And that's going to start with an Nmap scan. In this case, we want to use the P flag here for all 65,000 or so ports. And we're targeting the active, the IP address that we saved to the active.htb. And in this case, we're going to run, instead of a 10,000, we're going to run it at a 5,000 for a min rate. Because it is a Windows machine, I'm worried about maybe it being too fast and missing some ports. So we're going to do it for 5,000, but we're going to let that run and see what comes back for this machine. And there we go. It finishes under 16 seconds and we're getting a bunch of information here. 53, 88, 135. And if this is your first Windows machine, this could look pretty intimidating seeing all these different services being popped up. But I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the screen what all this information is so that we know what it is going forward. But one thing I want to do now that we have run a quick scan with Nmap, we want to do a scan with a little bit more specific, right? We want to target just the ports that are open and see what other information we can get out of it. So let's go ahead and open up a new window. And from here, let's go ahead and cd into the hackthebox active, clear it, and now do an Nmap scan for those ports that we were able to see that are open. Here are the port numbers. And in this case, we're going to run two different flags, the SC and the SV, to get a little bit more information on the services that are running under these ports. And we're using the ON flag to save this output into a flat file called Nmap scan. And for the IP address at the active.htb, and the T5 is just another way of doing a min rate of 10,000. It's just a different speed. So we're going to let that run. And remember, the file that is being saved is actually being saved in the Active Directory, in the hackthebox active. So we can reference the Nmap scan whenever we need to. So I'm going to let that run and that's going to do its thing. And I'm going to speed it up for the sake of this video. All right, there we go. So it finished under 64 seconds and we're getting a bunch of different information. It looks like it's all Windows. So we know it's a Windows machine and it's no surprise to us that all the services that are popping up are Windows. But here we go. We're getting Microsoft DNS. The thing that's interesting is it's a Windows Server 2008. That's pretty old. It's pretty outdated, but it is what it is. The other thing I'm noticing is, okay, Microsoft Active Directory, sure. And here we're getting an SMB security mode and SMB. So it looks like we should start doing some type of SNB mapping and seeing if we can find our way there. But I'm going to also show you on the screen what all of these services indicate. And I know if this is your first Windows box, it may look pretty intimidating doing your first Nmap scan and seeing a bunch of different services and not knowing where to go from there, especially when you do a more specific scan like this. So let's go ahead and open up a new window. So we want to do an smbmap with the H flag for the IP address active.htb. And I'm going to use the lowercase r for a recursive to see if they can give us a little bit more information. So it looks like we were able to do that. We are detecting one host serving SNB, and that's not a surprise to us. So we are authenticated and we're getting a bunch of no access for a lot of things. But one thing that we are getting a read only for is the replication share. So, and in there we can see the active.htb. So that's really interesting. It looks like that is essentially our only attack vector at this moment, without actually diving into the other Nmap scan services. But let's go ahead and see what is replication. So let's open up a new window, and now we will do, instead of smbmap, we're going to do an smbclient, and we're going to connect to the replication shared, and we're using the N flag for this for an anonymous login without any password. In this case, we were able to log in this way, but another trick is if that doesn't work, the other possibility is doing some type of like for using the username and doing like a null login like this and see if that works. That's essentially another way of doing the capital N, but it looks like this works out either way for us. So let's ls and see what is going on. In this case, we are getting the active. We knew that was available to us, and we're getting a bunch of different things here. Policies is what's interesting for a Windows machine. So I'm going to go in there, and it looks like we are getting some type of policy GUID. So we're going to CD in there and see what's going on. We're seeing machine. Let's see, preferences, and we're looking for groups. Okay, so it looks like this replication shared folder directory is actually a copy of the sys volume folder. So because we're seeing GGPs, we're seeing policies and groups. So I'm assuming now that we're in the groups folder, we're getting a Groups.xml, and that's pretty standard for an old 2008 server. So from here, we can't cat this because we're SMB logged in through the client, but we can do a get Groups.xml, and that's going to download that file onto our machine wherever we initiated this SMB client. So I think I initiated this in the home directory, not in the hackthebox active directory. So we can go ahead and cat it from there. So I'm going to exit out, and I'm going to CD in here and see if it is in here. I have an extra copy of it, the Groups.xml. So I'm going to clear this and cat the Groups.xml. And here we go. We're getting a bunch of different information. This is, let's see here. We're getting the username. So here's the username for the active, SBC_TGS. So that is a username we're getting. And here is a C password that we can go ahead and decrypt. So this is a password that is in the Groups.xml. So this is pretty standard for back in the 2000 era type server that we got from our Nmap scan. Now, before we start cracking the password, I did want to mention that the Nmap scan that we did indicate the Windows Server 2008, and the group policy preferences, the GPP, was actually introduced in the Windows Server 2008 among other features, but it essentially allowed administrators to modify users and groups across the network. So, and back then the passwords were encrypted and stored in the Groups.xml. However, at some point in 2012, Microsoft published the AES keys on MSDN, meaning that the passwords set using GPP are now trivial to crack and considered low-hanging fruit. But let's go ahead and do the GPP decrypt, and there is that password, and see what comes out of it. And here we go. Here is the password. GPP still standing strong, 2K18. I'm assuming that's 2018. So it looks like since this machine may have been made in 2018, they're kind of indicating that this was still relevant back then. So still important to see, especially in older servers, if this is being leaked or not. Then you can start cracking passwords and getting it this way. So we now know the user and we have a password. So let's go ahead, do another smbmap for the active. And in this case, we want to use the credentials that we just got from that group policy. And we're going to run it and see what is now available for us. So we did get back a bunch of different things that are available for us. The thing that stands out to me are the users. So let's go ahead and open up a new window now and start logging in now. So we'll do an smbclient. Let's take a look. Active HTB. Instead of replication this time, we want to take a look at the users shared, and we'll use the U flag for the user here that we got from the groups.xml file. And I'm using the percentage sign to kind of differentiate between the username and the password. So here is the password that we were able to crack with the GPP decrypt. And we're going to see if we have access to it. And there we go. We did get SMB access. We can LS. And the thing that we're looking for now is, since we logged in to with the user, the SVC user, we want to actually go into the folder there to get that juicy flag. So we are looking for desktop, because typically that's where the user flag is set for us, and we can't cat user.txt, see, because there is no cat command on the Windows machine or through SMB. We have to get user.txt. And remember, whenever we're downloading something, wherever we initiated that SMB client is where we're downloading that file. So if I didn't CD into the hackthebox Active Directory before I actually initiated this SMB client, it's going to download it wherever that is. In this case, it's probably in the home directory. So we do now have the user.txt flag, but we want to figure out, what do we do next now? So let's go ahead and start navigating through these files and see where our next attack vector is, so that we can start Priv escalating into maybe the administrator. Next, we're going to use in packet get users, and we're going to request any users that are available to us and see if we can get a ticket to crack. What in packet is that it's a library used to query and request Kerberos service principal names for domain users, and we will use that for Kerberos authentication to identify services. So typically misconfigured SPNSs can lead to privilege escalation. So essentially we're requesting a ticket, and then we're hopefully getting that ticket so we can see if we can crack it to go forward with that. And to crack it, usually we'll use like hashcat or John. So let's go ahead and try that command and see what comes up. And then we'll paste in the password that we were able to get from the Groups.xml. And it looks like here we did get a user back, which is the administrator. So that's pretty positive. And let's see if we got a ticket that we can start cracking. So let's go ahead and cat that. And there we go. So we did get that. So we can go ahead and start working on cracking this ticket offline and start getting access to our administrator account going forward. So now that we know that, let's go ahead and open up a new window, and we have that file. And now we can start crafting our hashcat command for this file. So let's go hashcat. We use the A0 with that file, and I'm going to run it through the rocku.txt file and see if that can output us anything. And in this case, there it goes. So it cracked it. And here is that hash, that ticket, the Kerberoasting ticket that we were trying to crack. And there is the password, Ticketmaster1968. So I'm going to go ahead and actually open up the clipboard manager. So I have that in my clipboard and copy that password. So that is awesome that we were able to crack that. And I'm going to open up a new window now, my 10th window. So now that we got that password, we're now going to do an smbmap. Since we got the administrator, we're assuming now we have access to the entire C. So let's go ahead and try that out. So we'll do smbclient, that looks right, active HTB. Instead of here, we'll do C, and then we'll do the U flag for the administrator, right? Administrator percentage, and then we'll paste in that password. And there we go. We were able to get access to it. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. So we want to go into the, where is the desktop? We want to go into the users. Yep. Administrator. There it is. And we want to go into the desktop because we know it is in the desktop. There is the root flag. So we will get root.txt, and now we downloaded that text, that root flag, into wherever that directory, I think it's the home directory where I started that smbclient. So I can go ahead, open up a new window, root.txt, and there is the root flag. So we got that. That is awesome. And that is essentially everything to this box. It was a really fun learning experience. I know their windows can be pretty intimidating, especially when you're first starting off, but it was a great box to start off with. So hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to throw them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of this type of content, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.